What is going on, family? It's G here with Tyler. We're actually in the same room right now, so give us a heads up if anything is echoing. But today I want to go over a excuse me, a little mindset today, a little mindset training thing I have here for I don't know, just kind of get you thinking and hopefully this helps you think a little bit more positive or something after this. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. If you guys want to write this down, I would recommend writing some of this down because it's the best way to do the exercise. So first I would write down thoughts and put a square around it. Write down thoughts with a square around it. I'll try not to go too fast here, but I want to make sure I save Tyler enough time. So bear with me. Let me know if you guys need me to repeat anything as well. So write thoughts with the square around it. After that, write down incoming with the equal sign as an incoming thoughts with the equal sign after it, which is coming from incoming thoughts are coming from TV, media, friends, family, advertising, you name it. So um, with that, right after you write down incoming thoughts, write down outcoming thoughts equals. Once you get the outgoing thoughts written down with the equal sign, that means you choose what we focus on. So we're the ones choosing what we're going to focus on, and the things we decide to focus on and put our process our put our energy and thoughts to, that's going to change and affect our emotions. So next I recommend write down emotion with a box around it, and then under that write down charges thoughts with negative or positive responses. So with emotion, if you put all your a negative emotion into something, you're going to be, you might end up with negative outcomes. Or positive, you putting all stuff towards positive outcomes and positive thoughts, that tends to be usually what happens. So this is another good thing to take as like a mindset of a trader. When you're trading, you want to trade with, you enter the trade and you know what you're going to lose if you lose the trade, and you know where you're going to exit. So that's another good thing, to always be like focused on your trade, and you know the outcome of that trade, whether it's good or bad. The worst outcome shouldn't be that bad because you trade with percent and a skill and a risk management aspect. You shouldn't really ever trade without a risk management, in my opinion. So after that, write down belief with a box around it. And your beliefs is what programs your reticular activating system. I apologize. Your reticular activating system. So I'd like to do a little exercise real quick. Um, Go ahead and like look around your room or wherever you're at, and like look for something red, or like find everything that's in your room that's red. We'll do that, for example. I'll give you a few seconds here, and then whenever you find a few things that are red, close your eyes and think about those things again, that are while your eyes are closed. You're probably understanding where they're at a little bit. Um, you know exactly where it's sitting on your dresser, or desk here. So now I want you to think about, keep your eyes closed, but think about what's in the room that is blue. You might have struggled a little bit to find something that's blue, especially with your eyes closed. You might have thought so. You might have found something that was blue without opening your eyes, which is pretty impressive, because that means you probably have a pretty high like unconscious thought process. So that was just like a little thing I like to do that like kind of shows how, when you're putting your thoughts to something, that's all you think about. So I don't know if you had trouble finding something that was blue after I said, but I know I did when I did this exercise. And then the RAS, which is the reticular activating system I was talking about, that is going to create a mental bias that forces you to look for proof unconsciously, like, which is stuff we don't even really realize that's going on, or that could be affecting our thoughts or emotions, and we may not even realize it. So negative thoughts equals bad outcomes, like I said a little bit ago, and positive thoughts equal good outcomes. And then one more thing we'll write down is confirmation with a square around it. And those are like some confirmation. We all like confirmation, right? So when you're putting your positive thoughts towards good things and you're seeing more positive outcomes happen, you're going to get a lot of confirmation about um, kind of a little bit of this mindset here. So there's small seeds that strengthen the level of belief based on what the RAS focuses on, which is the reticular activating system, like we just practiced. Small seeds will, like I said, I'm going to say that again. They will strengthen the level of belief based on what the RAS focuses on. And then the last thing I'd like you to write down is conviction with another square around it. And then under that, we'll write down strongest level of belief that puts you into the low. I apologize. Strongest level of belief that puts you into the law of hypnotic rhythm. So basically, you're going to be, if you're putting all positive outcomes, positive focuses towards everything that you do, a lot of the time you see positive outcomes come with it. And I'm personally starting to see this work in my life with obviously you're still going to come across obstacles and everything. That's can't really reach success without failure, in my opinion. So with that being said, I think that's really all I have for you guys today. I'd like to pass it over to Tyler. I know he's got a little bit of news for us today and such, so he's going to do that. Um, thank you, Tyler, and here you go.
Appreciate you, bro. Am I good? Am I?
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good. Perfect. Awesome. Appreciate you, man. And yeah, you killed it, bro. A lot of that stuff's really, really important. The last word you said there reminding me of the hypnotic rhythm, reminded me of Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, which is an awesome book. And actually, I was going to pull it up while you were doing that, but I forgot I left it in my car because we were, I had it with us earlier. But I have this. It's actually a different book. It's The Power of Awareness. And I was actually talking with Garrison about this yesterday. And we were kind of talking about, I was telling him, I'm like, bro, that book's incredible because we both have different copies. I think he's grabbing his now, but I have this one. I know he might have a different copy, but it's like, dude, chapter 12 goes crazy, bro. And I just want to read the first couple things because they're really, really important, especially when it comes to mindset. And mindset's really important when it comes to everything. When it comes to life, yeah, going to the gym, you really your entire life is based around your mindset, your attitude towards things. Your relationships with people, the things you do in your life, it all comes back down to mindset and what you think, right? There's like Jim Rohn says, there's two types of attitudes. He says the stories that I'm sitting in LA traffic, my flight leaves in an hour, I haven't moved an inch, I am now fascinated. And he says, we turn frustration into fascination, and it doesn't work every time, but you can have those two types of attitudes. You can either be frustrated or fascinated. And there's a funny story, and I had this dog. Her name was Remy. She was a little slow to catching on to things. I don't know what was wrong with her, but she just didn't learn that well. And normally, when you teach a dog to potty train it, like eventually they catch on and they do it. Well, Remy was having a hard time, and she was shitting and pissing on the floor, and I had to come home and clean up almost every night, right? Well, it came to this point where like it was the same event, right? Jim Rohn says the same wind blows on us all, but it's not the blowing of the wind, it's the set of the sails. It's your attitude towards the wind. And so I switched my attitude from being really mad and upset to I started becoming grateful for this event, right? I started becoming grateful when the dog pooped and peed on the tile instead of the rug because we all know it's easier to clean off of a tile than it is the rug, right? If you have animals, you know what I'm talking about. But and it's funny because it's just a little switch of this attitude. And anyway, I want to read this. That's something different, and we could keep going into that. But I love Jim Rohn. He's one of my favorite speakers. If you haven't listened to him, I highly recommend it. He's got some really, really incredible philosophies, and things that he shares. So I want to kind of dive into this. It's just one chapter. It's literally like it's not long. I'm not going to be reading forever. So trust me, it's good. And you might want to write this down too. And taking notes is actually another big thing, which I'm going to go into after this and why it's important. But chapter 12. So subjective control is the title. So your imagination is able to do all that you ask in proportion to the degree of your attention. Sheesh. Right? Let me say that again. Your imagination is able to do all that you ask in proportion to the degree of your attention. So depending on the degree, depending on how focused you are on something, right? On something in your imagination, depends on what you're able to do, right? So all progress, all fulfillment, all progress, all fulfillment of desire depend on the control and the concentration of your attention. Attention may be either attracted from without or directed from within. Attention is attracted from without when you are consciously occupied with the external impressions of the immediate present, meaning you're on this call right now, focused on this call, right? So the very lines on this page are attracting your attention from without. Sheesh, because you're not actually choosing to focus on something, right? You're reading out of this book. You might be focused on this book, but you're not focused on, let's say, this pen. Or if you wanted to learn how to fly a plane, like the Wright brothers, right? The Wright brothers learned how to fly a plane. And guess what? They consciously thought, they put their attention on learning how to fly a plane. And because they thought about it consciously and they continued to think about it repetitively, guess what happened? They made a plane. And it's not by accident. It's not definitely didn't happen by accident. I can promise you that, because they tried, failed, tried, failed, tried, failed, and it's a repeating process. But this chapter is absolutely incredible, and there's a lot more to it. I don't want to go too far into it, but there's a lot to it. And that kind of brings me to the notes things. And the reason I brought up the notes is because they're really some of the most valuable things you can take. And it's not for you, it's for maybe your future team, right? I took Facebook notes, or this Facebook ad course, and I took notes on the course, and it was only valuable for me at the moment, right? But what happened was, over the next 2 or 3 years, I had multiple business partners, multiple friends who wanted to learn Facebook ads. And guess what? I literally took a picture of my notes and said, hey, I don't have too much about it, but here's the notes I took on a course, and I can give them that. And guess what? That becomes valuable because now I have something to offer, right? So notes are really, really incredible, especially when it comes to helping people out and putting people on game. I can refer back to a lot of things in my notes. I like to take a lot of notes in my notes on my phone. But I want to bring this other thing up too that comes with, and you actually were talking about the seeds, Garrison. You were saying the seed. You brought up a seed, and it brought me up this little quote, and it's the best time to plant a tree was yesterday. The next best time is now. So stop hesitating, right? Stop waiting and implement. Start taking action, because at the end of the day, we all know. Let me break it down like this. We all know how to get a six-pack. All of us, right? Knowing isn't enough. You have to know and implement. And sometimes you don't even have to know, you just have to act. Like the Wright brothers, they knew eventually they would fly a plane, but they didn't know how to do it immediately. They knew what the outcome would be, but they didn't know initially what would happen. So incredible stuff, guys, incredible stuff. But belief is incredible too, because you need a lot of belief in yourself. You need to instill belief within you. It's Let me break it down in a ramen noodles. I don't know how it goes, but ramen noodles standard point, right? So let's say you got this, you want to make noodles, right? You got ramen noodles, and you got them in the cabinet, right? You got them in the kitchen, and knowing, right? You have this thought, you're like, you know what? I kind of want some ramen noodles. So you go and get ramen noodles and you start to make it. Now, you don't hesitate because you knew it was obtainable. You had the belief that you knew how to make ramen noodles. You already knew how to do that. So you're like, you know what? I believe I can go do this. And guess what? You also believed that there was ramen noodles in the cabinet. And guess what? The only thing that prevented you from getting this box of ramen noodles, even if it wasn't in your cabinet, was the action. You had to get up and go do it. You had to get up and go make them. You had to go to the store and make the ramen noodles, right? No matter whether it was in the cabinet or you end up having to go there. You had this belief, you had this thought, and you acted on the thought. So knowledge isn't enough. You have to implement these things that you're thinking about too. But that's really all I wanted to share on the mindset of things. I love mindset. I normally go in on this, but Garrison and I just got back from like a, kind of like pretty much a day span of adventuring. We had probably 5, 6, 7, 8 hours of driving, so we're still recovering from that. But let me go ahead and share my screen, because I do want to. Oh, you gotta make me host, Garrison. I do want to share a couple of little things with you. I want to kind of look at the market really quick, because we do love crypto, we do love trading. We want to see what's happening here inside the market. So let's see. You're good, bro. Actually, I got it. Forgot I could do that. All right, let's see. So we got the Brave browser. Let's pull her up. Now we got Bitcoin pumping, and honestly, I'm not really surprised to see what's happening here in the market. To be honest with you guys, really not too surprised. Now I would have loved to see. Goodness, bro, Gus is building a sandcastle over there. Hold on one second. All right, my bad. But we can see we have the fib levels on here. And actually I'm gonna take this one off of here just for now because I want to show you where we're at instead of terms of the market goes. And so we're gonna mark this up, hopefully from this to here. This is a rough estimate. You can see I'm not exact on here, but we're pretty much there. Let me see, it might be to this. There we go. But you can see right here, we're in the last level of support, and really this happens a lot of the times, guys. Now, what I'm expecting to see is for the market, and the total market cap looks almost identical to this. But what I'm really expecting is for the market to kind of reject off of here. And we have a lot of stuff happening. I know Garrison and I were watching some of our mentors last night, getting some nuggets, what's happening going on with these banks, them getting bailed out, turning the money printers back on, and all sorts of other things. So honestly, guys, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Bitcoin hit here, hit here and continue back down. But it's kind of a crazy moment in the world. You can see the dollar is kind of dropping again, it's falling. And then we have the total market cap, like I said, where is it at? The total market cap, and it is pumping almost in the same, it looks almost exactly identical to Bitcoin. And which isn't a surprise considering most of the total market cap consists of Bitcoin and Ethereum's, market cap as well. So you can see they almost look identical, but we had that perfect 50% 618 fib zone retracement, that normal zone that we look for it to enter and continue up. And so I'm not surprised to see that the market pumped up and continued up. But then we have, right, on a little bit longer term where we were waiting for this market to kind of come back in this level, we are now officially back there, right? We were originally holding in that normal zone going down right here. See that same zone here that we were looking for to continue up. We were same thing, right? We were looking for it to continue down. But again, on that short term, we've seen it respect this level of the zone, and we continued up. We broke through our 50% 618 on the down, on the looks for a move down. And then now we're kind of at that last level of support where, where a lot of these sellers were originally sitting. We had a lot of people buying because they saw what's happening with these banks, what's going on, where we got a lot of things going on with these banks. You've seen SFB, you've seen I seen somebody actually tweet, I think it was or maybe it was on Instagram, where somebody shared like the top banks and their charts where people were trying to withdraw their money. Like right now, if you want to go to the bank and withdraw 10K, 5K, even 5K, maybe even 2K. 2K you might be able to do, but Garrison and I both went to the bank and we were like, yo, let's go. We want to get 5K out of the bank. They're gonna be like, yeah, we might be able to give you this, but we can't give you all that. And it's like, what do you mean, bro? So you got to understand too, banks don't even have all the money that they say they do in cash. They have to go sell it, go get some other stuff. It's based off of IOUs realistically, but a lot of people see that their dollar is getting devalued. A lot of people are seeing their money disappear right out of their banks. They're getting scared. So people are buying things like gold or Bitcoin. And honestly, what I'm seeing is a lot of fear being pushed by the feds, by the gov, the GOV, right? And I see a lot of fear being pushed by them. And I feel like they just don't want you a part of it, right? They're playing in the space. They just don't want you in, right? It's like the older brother that was like playing GTA, and he's like, yeah, bro, you can't have this food because if little kids eat it, then they die. Like you always lie to your little sibling, like you tell them like something bad would happen if like a little kid, like why a little kid can't have it. That's pretty much what's happening here. They're like, oh, you can't play in this space. Like it's if you play in here, you're gonna lose all your money. But we're gonna dabble over here, okay? It's safe for us because we're good. But realistically, that's what it is. So a lot of stuff happening, a lot of things going on in the crypto space. Garrison and I are going to be providing a lot more value on a weekly basis. This week, we're actually going to a crypto event, meeting up with our mentors. We're going to get a lot of footage, a lot of nuggets, a lot of things we can share with you. And we're going to be providing more value on a weekly basis where we can come in here and do this a lot more often. So I hope you guys look forward to it. I know we do. But with that being said, Garrison, do you have anything else to say, bro?
How much time is left on there? I mean, I can show a little bit more. I was kind of tempted. I want to show a little bit
Yeah,
of like the platform we use. So
yeah, bro.
I am.
Here, make you the host.
um, I can show you guys what I'm looking for Ethereum as well. My Ethereum chart. I was on a cruise, so I wasn't able to look at it at all from. Let's see here. You switch here to the. I went on a cruise the 11th through the 19th. I wasn't able to look at my chart, so I was over here, just trusting my instinct, and I mean, we saw pretty much exactly what I thought happened. I went on the cruise right about here. That's the weekly. Let's go to the daily. But it's so far, Ethereum has pretty much respected everything that I've seen coming. That literally the day of the cruise, it shot up. Like we saw its first. I was personally kind of expecting that because you see this trend line here. We see we see people buy at this trend line. The buyers get wiped out. The buyers get wiped out right here, and then we see the market rally back up here after it knocks out the buyers here, takes the money away. It's taking other people's money. The market is made to take money from us. So we have to wait. Some people would have traded right here. It's like, oh, it's broke past our stop or our trend line, and we're gonna see push back up. I like to wait for it to get this whole move to get fully flushed out. And this is probably if I take it from right here, this candle that shoots up and doesn't have any wick down. I'm gonna take it all the way to the top of the movement right here. And it came down and hit my 618 zone, went all the way back up. I'm still looking for a push down, in my opinion, right here. And this is one of my harmonics I learned from my mentor that I'm gonna eventually start sharing with you guys here. I really will start probably doing that. I don't know if me and Tyler, we should probably we'll probably get on another call with you guys tomorrow if you're down, and we can go over strictly more trading. But I want to hit this right here with you as well. This is one of our platforms that our academy offers, and it's so I'm in DCX. This is what I use, and you can pick any of these. You can pick two of these. There's like a one where you can pick two. It's a little bit more, but personally, one of my favorite tools that I get to use from being a part of this, and you get to listen to all these educators, and I'll take you to this is what I get to use. So we see all these live videos. They do calls every week. There's recorded sessions. These are my favorite people, or these are really my mentors. So, why are the banks failing? Like the truth they won't tell you about, or the truth about trading they won't tell you. A lot of great stuff. Favorite sessions, and I'm a big fan of this. Like three mindsets of a new trader, which I actually do plan on going over this with you guys, which you guys will get right from here from me. So, and this is also another like trading tool we have to offer. It's called Swipe Coin. Right here, you would have took the trade. It breaks above this buy zone here, breaks above it and closes, and you wait for the retracement back down to enter. Bam, you get this is more for leverage trading. So you get a prices 27.1 all the way to that's about 1,000 pips right there if you take it out right here. You got to be an emotionless trader to catch the full moves. Some people might have taken out at 500 pips, which 500 pips is a good trade any day of the week. In Forex, people hit 80 pips, like they search for 80 pips a week like it's good. And so this is also Swipe Coin. And yeah, I think we're pretty much good to stop right there. Thank you guys for hopping in. I'd like to go into more detail about this as well. So you guys can get to some of the events with us and meet up with us. All right, well, I don't think I have anything else to share. Tyler, how do you feel? Do you got anything else?
No, bro. I'm all good, man. I'm all good. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for sharing that. And yeah, man, the platform's extremely valuable. Like Garrison said, there's a lot of the things, pretty much trading wise, I've learned from the platform over the last 7 years. So I can definitely vouch for that as well. So that being said, guys, we will talk to you very, very soon. We'll upload this on YouTube for those of you who weren't able to catch us live. But we appreciate you. And with that being said, we'll see you next time. Peace, guys.